record, flip.
Video.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Record.
1,
Okay.
2, 3. Ice cream.
Here you are. Sit back. We have none of our talking points, but
No, we don't. And I thought about that. I'm like, yeah, our talking points are on our phone, but here we are.
yeah. Okay. So, welcome to our attempt at a book review, audiobook review.
Specifically, audiobook
Yes.
review. Yes.
Today we're going to be going over one of our favorite books.
We're going into the Dresden Files, y'all. Okay, so in the spirit of honesty, we have read the Dresden Files. We have gone through them as far as they exist, because there's more coming out.
Yeah.
But we're going over it again, specifically to then talk about it as an audiobook series. And so book 1 is called Stormfront.
Right. Now, this is a very, very, very long book series as far as books go. I think he's up to 18 or 19. And
We're definitely in the teens.
17 or 18. And it's not done yet. I know there are 2 more coming out. As far as audiobooks go in modern, most of the books, probably all the books we're going to be looking at will be fantasy. But
Probably, yeah.
as far as modern fantasy goes, the Dresden Files are phenomenal.
Gosh, they're so good.
So they follow this character, Harry Dresden, right?
Oh, sorry. Written by Jim Butcher.
Oh my gosh, yes. Written by the wonderful Jim Butcher.
And narrated.
Well, we'll get to that one in a minute.
Oh, okay.
But we follow his character, Harry Dresden. And the best way I can describe this is like 1940s Private Eye meets Harry Potter with a healthy dose of nerd fandom in the present day.
Set in Chicago.
Yes, set in Chicago. Now, as you were about to say, the story is read to us
By James Marsters.
Oh my gosh. And James
that's part of what we're going to be talking about.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not only like the writing of the book, but then
Do
the
you want to
audio
get into
experience.
the book or the audio experience first?
Let's get into the book first.
Okay. So, Harry Dresden, it starts out explaining how he, and now there will most likely be spoilers. We're going to try not to give you many because we're going to try and either, especially for the books, we're going to try and encourage you to read, listen to. But there's probably going to be. All right, so Harry Dresden, it starts out with him talking about how he is a wizard.
He's a wizard.
He's in the book, as it's put. He's in the phone book. He's the only one in there, and he actually advertises himself as a wizard.
Right? Which, like, that in and of itself is, like, a wonderful start. Because the way that, the way that it's written, that one of the things that I love about this book series, but book specifically, is that it feels very real. It feels like it could be very real. You know, like the way he talks about himself in the first person. He's like, yeah, well, Harry Dresden, wizard. I can help you find lost items, this, that, and the other thing. And look me up. I'm in the phone book.
That's how he spends most of his time. That's how he makes most of his money. He does one of 2 things. He's normally finding lost items for people who have run out of options and he's usually a Hail Mary for them. Or he's working for a specific branch of the Chicago Police Department.
Special Investigations?
Called Special Investigations. Where the main person who calls him in as a hang on, I'll get the word.
I believe you.
As the main person who calls him in as a oh my gosh, what is the word?
Consultant.
There we go. I had it and then it went away again. I gave up. As a consultant is a woman by the name of Karen Murphy. Now, even she in this book questions what is how much of this, of what he does is actually magic, how much is real. And she kind of doesn't want to think about it from what we can tell. She just wants results, and he gets them. Karen Murphy is a wonderful female character. Oh my gosh, she's so strong and feisty, and she is great.
Again,
and,
very believable. As the head of special investigations, she's short, she's blonde, she is therefore has to be real feisty and straight shooter, Aikido, black belt.
And she's kind of the opposite of Harry, at least physically, because he says it, where she is round and kind of stocky, not round as in the body, but just round in the face and kind of stocky and short. He's described as ridiculously tall, MBA height type of thing, and lean and sharp. So, getting into the story, it starts out as this murder investigation, right?
Yeah.
Where I love how many things in this book happen at the same time. He gets a client by the name of Monica Sells to help him find. She wants help finding her missing husband.
Right.
At the same time.
Pardon us, we're eating ice cream at the same time.
Don't pardon us. Be jealous of us. Our toddler's asleep and we're eating ice cream. At the same time, he's brought in by Karen Murphy to figure out a murder a murder that she can't explain. And
gruesome.
Yeah, it makes sense because they die in a bloody way that can't be explained by modern science. Things exploded out of places.
Right.
But and then all within the same couple of hours, he is talked to by a crime boss.
Who's abducted?
Abducted by a crime boss on his way from the crime scene, on his way back to meeting up with Monica, and and this crime boss is named Gentleman Johnny Marconi. In this book, it's Marconi.
Yes.
It does. I think it changes later.
I don't know what book it is, but
we think it changes to Marconi.
Yeah. At some point, the pronunciation shifts.
Either way. He's abducted, and Marconi tries to pay him not to investigate this this whole thing that the cops are asking him to, and for some reason there's this drug going on called Third Eye, which is makes the cops say make people trip out and act like they can see things that they can't. But when Harry sees someone on Third Eye, Harry realizes they do see things in the magical realm using what's called the wizard's sight, and the whole story. Oh,
it's not just a drug that is advertising itself as being like magic and opening your third eye. It actually does involve some of that.
It's not a psychedelic as most people think it is. It's straight up a magic drug, which is the first I've heard of such a thing, which is awesome.
And on top of that,
this whole book is a list of on top of that.
I know. That's one of the things I absolutely love about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a missing husband. We've got a murder investigation. We've got a crime lord who says, please don't investigate the murder investigation. And then, on top of that, Harry, being a wizard, is under the jurisdiction of what we find out is called the White Council. And he has a black mark on his record and is therefore basically on bail. What am I looking for?
He is on probation.
On probation.
Under what is called the Doom of Damocles.
Under the Doom of Damocles, with a probation officer or warden who is following him like a dog, like a dog
who already thinks he's the evil bad guy,
waiting for him to do any amount of black magic.
Who knows? And they both know black magic is going on in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Morgan, thinks it's him, and
his name is Donald. Good job. I forgot
I
his
thought
first
you
name.
were. Correct me if I'm wrong. That sounded very judgmental. Forgot his name was Donald.
It's a terrible first name.
Donald.
Menacing figure, Donald.
Wow. So if anyone named Donald is out there, please love me and don't listen to her.
Bet you make good duck noises.
That was horrible. That was a. No, I'm embarrassed by that joke.
Anywho.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Anyhow.
yeah. So it's just layer on layer on layer on layer. And that's one of the things that just persists throughout this book is that the stakes are so high. Well, and they build.
They build. The stakes build very well, and it's this intricate... Jim Butcher writes an intricate cascade of events that you know have to be connected but aren't quite sure how.
Mm-hmm.
In this book, he talks to and traps a dewdrop fairy named Toot Toot. He gets attacked by a demon. He channels lightning, speeds in a Trans Am, drives an old punch button named the Blue Beetle. Feeds his cat Mister. Talks to a spirit of knowledge named Bob that he keeps in a skull in his basement.
Confronts a vampire.
Confronts a vampire of the Red Court who he pisses off enough to swear that he'll be regretful. All to find this main villain that they call the Shadow Man that is both the source of the third eye drug and apparently the source of all this black magic. The only people who could do anything about it, meaning the wardens, don't believe him because the only one who's around him is already jaded. And on top of all that, he's got to stop this last murder from happening because guess what? It's him.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Marvelous. Just marvelous. And the way things come together, it's well written in the sense that there's a lot of balls juggling in the air,
and
stakes are super high,
and the fact,
and then and eventually it all you realize how each ball is related to each other,
and all the balls being in the air. Harry, as you're saying, a real character. Harry does not necessarily handle them well. Some of them fall to the point where Karen Murphy tries to arrest him. Oh my gosh! Well, maybe that is a spoiler, but enough about that. It is a really good book, and here's the thing, though. They say, and I agree, this book series really doesn't find its stride to book 3, and this is only book 1. Just wait till we get to book 3 and 4 and moving on. Oh, holy hell!
It's going to be hours long.
Oh my gosh!
But so okay, here's 2 more things to talk about. We kind of briefly mentioned it, but one being the character of Harry Dresden is really well crafted in the sense that he's so believable, he's so relatable. That's one of the things that I really oh, sorry, I'm messing with my mic. Anyway, I love the fact that even though he is a wizard, working in Chicago, which is so very unbelievable, he's a smartass. He's a smart mouth. He is
an epic nerd.
He doesn't like to be controlled. He
doesn't like
to be told what to do.
He doesn't like change, which is both good and bad.
He has very specific quirks, he has this giant tomcat called Mister, and a clunkety old car that he kind of loves still, and
kind of loves. He loves the thing. It's called the Blue Beetle.
Loves the thing. And it's okay, even though I'm a wizard and I do magic for my job, he doesn't want to do. I don't want to say this. He experiences the same temptations that we all do. To when he gets angry with people,
you mean he's human?
He wants to be violent, but he knows the kind of damage that he could do.
Well, speaking of violence, I find it fun that one of the things that he carries beyond his blasting rod and his staff is a revolver, because like he's a very practical person in that sense, and it's so interesting. Now,
I'm not afraid to get in a scrap.
Now the great thing, one of my favorite aspects of this book is, now it's not as true with all the characters in this book, but it becomes more and more true as the books go on, and the characters from this book that will go on to other books, this applies to. Jim Butcher is a master of creating. He is a master at creating characters that are memorable.
That's a good point.
I mean, like, when you get into high fantasy and reading high fantasy books, or well, just other books in general, it's hard sometimes to keep names in your head and who is who, when, what they're doing, and why. Especially, it's very hard to do that, even when the characters aren't completely flat. Even when the characters aren't bad, they just aren't great. All of the characters who are worth knowing in this are memorable.
They're very well defined.
They are defined and distinctive and unique
by their name, their personalities, their physical characteristics, their function as a character. It's all very unique.
And his characters are so well thought out and so well put together that you could hear lines spoken by our narrator, who is phenomenal, and you pretty much will know who it is without actually being told. That's a rare thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. That you can hear the characters in their lines and what they say. And
part of that, great segue, part of that is because of our phenomenal narrator. I mean, these books were, it's a match just made in heaven. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
James Marsters.
James Marsters.
Oh my gosh.
He has the perfect voice.
He reads these books, not just Dresden. He's got the perfect. He does all of them phenomenally. My biggest pet peeve, and because we're running out of time here, we want to keep under 20 minutes.
Fair. I did want to mention the magic system and how wonderfully believable it is and whatnot, but maybe we leave that.
Whatever. James Marsters. This is a pet peeve of mine. But a lot of narrators have a hard time making each character distinctive, reading them as a different character, and making you believe that that's a different character. Understanding that character's motivations and catching the beats and which words need to be emphasized and when. Oh my gosh, he hits it so well. He does so well.
Yeah. There's a great flow, great cadence, easy to listen to. The only downside, I think, in the first couple books, he does too much. Do you want to go get her?
Sure. You keep talking.
Anyway, in the first couple of books, I think James Marsters is really leaning into that private eye, film noir type feel in some of his narrating, and therefore sometimes if you're listening to this book late at night or like going on a long drive, it can get a little bit sleepy. Not sleepy in the sense that it's boring, it's just that the cadence of his voice is very comforting and, like, kind of droll and hi.
James Marsters.
Dark and stuff like that. And so after a little while,
just nonsense. No.
After a little while, it can
Hang on.
It can put me a little to sleep.
Now, baby girl, look, it's you. You see? That's you. She just woke up from a nap. But the way magic works,
I love the way Jim Butcher crafted the magic system.
It's very tastefully done. No, most magic systems fall within what we call a hard magic system and a soft magic system. Now, these examples, a hard magic system is like Harry Potter. Oh, gosh, I'm not even in a frame well. A hard magic system is like Harry Potter, where there are rules. There are rules that are easy to understand. The magic is easy to grasp, and it's Harry Potter. This saying this this spell does this, that spell does that. You have to have a wand. There are rules, easily adjustable, understandable power levels. That's a hard magic system. Soft magic system is something like Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings, or just Tolkien's world in general. We don't know what words he used or what he did to make pine cones to light pine cones on fire in The Hobbit. We just know that he did. We don't know how we're not given the specific spell. But with the Dresden Files, it's explained to us how magic. You gotta come back. Well, it's explained to. I can crop that out. Be over here. What? What are you looking for? Whatever you want to do, but you got to be over here. She's messing with this.
Yeah.
But it's never really explained to us how that works. Well, in the Dresden Files, we know how magic works, but it's not so hard and fast. Magic is something that's derived from emotions. There's no specific words, but words that are specific to you, and they're not real words. And potions need things that are representative of the mind, the mental, the physical, all these different aspects. But they're not always the same thing. It depends on who's making the potion and what the potion's for. If I made a potion of knowledge, it wouldn't be the same thing as your potion of knowledge. It's a really intricate and.
It's really well thought out, and it makes sense.
It's not a soft magic system. It's not a hard magic system. It's a squishy system. It's very
squishy system.
It's pliable. I love it. All right. I think that's all we got to say, guys. Give this baby. What?
Yeah. No.
Give this a listen. We really haven't spoiled much of the story. We didn't tell you the ending. It's just.
But speaking of the ending, it's very satisfying. So satisfying.
It is very
The resolution is just.
Yes, it is. But I think you spent enough time with us. The next book that we're going to listen to, we're going to hopefully get this done in another. We're hopefully going to keep this up every
month.
We can every 2 weeks, but. Our first goal is to get through the first 3 Dresden Files, and then we're going to move on to another book series, and we'll do the Dresden Files in sets of 3 or 4.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
She's saying acting like she doesn't know. We talked about this. we talked about this. But if you have any questions, comments, if you've listened to this book, if you haven't, let us know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Go listen to anything read to you by James Marsters. Get into the Dresden Files. They are a wonderful adventure. But these are definitely books written for a more mature audience. This is not
adults.
This is the book written for mature adults. It is not a book for children. It's not a smut book. It's not.
But I mean, murder. At minimum, murder.
And when there is sex, well, there's sex. All
right, y'all. Thanks for listening to us gab. We will be back with you shortly with the next book, which is called Full Moon.
Yes, it's called Full Moon, and keep an eye out for the other things that we've got going out. We both have shorts on channels that are connected to this one, and that's more of our personal stuff. I've got some music out that you can check out too. But that being said, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
We did it.
We did it.